Good work. You'll want to head back up.
If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. The first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. What's up, Mod Squad? Welcome to another Division 2 build breakdown video. Before we get into the video, if you're already subscribed to me, then don't forget to smash that like button, as it really helps push our videos into the recommended section, which in turn helps the channel grow. Interaction is a big part of what helps us in the YouTube algorithm, and the extra support is very much appreciated. With that said, let's get into today's video. Today I'll be showcasing my version 2 Immortal DPS build for PvE. This build is great for all heroic content as well as Legendary Summit, and is a build you can use with the run and gun playstyle or the slower cover based playstyle. With this version of the build, I traded out 1% armor regen for 20% armor on kill. Doing this has allowed me to add more damage to the build through one piece of Fenris, which gives us 10% assault rifle damage. This build currently has 1.3 million base armor, which gets boosted dramatically each time you kill an NPC and pick up a trophy. With each trophy you gain 30% bonus armor, which lasts for 10 seconds. Trophies can also stack, but each stack has its own individual 10-second timer. Now I know a lot of players get bored of the memento, but I personally believe it's the best in slot when it comes to adding damage and survivability to your build. My aim is to help players get through difficult content, and I find passive damage and survivability from the memento is a big help. On top of our bonus armor, we of course have armor regen, which is at 5%, and as you can see is very strong. When it comes to the damage on this build, with all buffs active, it has 274% weapon damage, 60% crit chance, 193% crit damage, and with a change of minor attributes can reach well over 200%, allowing this build to hit for over 500k crits to the body. All builds I currently make are tested extensively within the summit before release, that way I know if they do well in Legendary Summit, they'll be great for heroic content. You will see I have a Crusader shield, which I know a lot of you don't like, but I only recommend that for Legendary Summit to make rushing NPCs less dangerous. You could also use the Banshee Pulse, which applies a status effect that confuses enemies and stops them from shooting you. This you can easily get because you'll have the gunner specialization. Now we have spoken a little bit about the build and showcased a little of what it's capable of, let's get into a build breakdown. Right guys, getting into this build breakdown, we have the Chameleon, of course, at 83.9k base damage, 900 RPM and 15 a mag. This is a weapon you guys voted as your favorite, your most favorite in the game. I did two separate polls, I'll probably show this somewhere in the video. You guys love the Chameleon, I guess I converted a lot of you. Great weapon for PvE guys. PvP it sucks, but PvE is amazing. We had the Adaptive Instincts talent, 30 headshot squats plus 20% critical hit chance and plus 50% critical hit damage for 45 seconds. If you can clear floors or rooms in missions within 45 seconds, you will keep them buffs and be able to hold them multiple floors or throughout the whole mission. Hitting 75 body shots grants plus 90% weapon damage for 45 seconds, hitting 30 leg shots grants 150% reload speed for 45 seconds. I have learned you want to go for those 30 leg shots as well. Having that extra reload speed is just too nice. It is way too nice. I used to just go for the headshots and the body shots, but adding the leg shots in there as well and be able to clear those floors even faster because of that reload speed, it's just real nice to have. Moving on to the gear pieces now. So we have the Grupo Sombra mask giving us 15% critical hit damage. We have 50% weapon damage, 6% crit chance, 12% critical hit damage and 12% critical hit damage. You will see in my videos now that most of my gear will be maxed out. That's because I've been grinding to get that gear, and I'm also optimizing gear now guys. I know you guys like me to be relatable and me not have max rolls and show that builds perform well without having max rolls, but it's just part of the game now. We're all progressing and it's just going to end up happening. As you can see, I had the 11.4% critical hit damage there that I'm trying to roll higher, and I did the same with the base damage at 15%. So it's just inevitable really. We have 3.7% critical hit damage and 11.9, oh sorry, we have 3.7% critical hit chance and 11.9% critical hit damage via mod. I've even managed to find some higher mods, and this is a Fenris chest piece giving us the 10% assault rifle damage. Moving on to the talent of the chest piece, we have Obliterate. You can switch this out for Intimidate if you want, because we're going to get bonus armor. Depends if you want to run and gun. I would say if you want to have that medium to long range playstyle, go for Obliterate instead of Intimidate. But if you intend to just run and gun, use Intimidate. Moving on to the holster, we have the Bellstorm Armory holster, gives us 1% armor regen. We have 2 pieces, and the second piece gives us 10% armor on kill. In total, we'll have 20% because we get 10% from the gunner specialization. So 10 from that, 10 from this gives us 20%. So 20% armor on kill is pretty nice to have. It's not a massive amount, but instead of having the 1% armor regen, which obviously is a slow regen, this just kicks in a little bit quicker, especially when you're running and gunning. So we have max armor at 170k, 12% critical hit damage, and then 6% crit chance. Moving on to the Memento backpack. You guys voted it as your best in slot for backpack when I put out the poll. So here it is, and it's just too good not to use, guys. We have 15% weapon damage, 170k armor, 1 skill tier, 12% critical hit damage via mod, and then we have the kill confirmed talent. You guys know how that worked by now. So moving on to the gloves now, we have the second piece of Bellstorm Armory, 170k armor, 12% critical hit damage, and 6% critical hit chance. And finally, probably the hardest piece to get aside from the backpack, that being the Empress Guard knee pad. So keep a close eye on those DZ vendors if you're not actually going to farm in the dark zone. We have 15% weapon damage, which I rolled on there, 1% armor regen, and then 8.5% hazard protection. If we had crit damage there instead, that would take the crit damage of this build to over 200%. It's currently just below that because I don't have this roll. And that's pretty much it for the build, guys. Of course, I had this shield here. It's at a tier 4. We have the drone, of course, my favorite skill because it's great distraction. It makes about 3 NPCs at a time turn around to focus on it. It makes it easier for you to get your stacks for your chameleon. That's pretty much it for the build, guys. I'm going to leave you with a stat sheet. Don't forget to smash that like button. Make sure you leave a comment down below. It's going to be hard times from here on out, guys, until we get the year 3 content. So the extra support is really appreciated. Anyway, guys, enjoy the video. Smash that like button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, Mob Squad.
Got a visual.
If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. The first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. What's up, mod squad? Welcome to another Division 2 build breakdown video. Before we get into the video, if you're already subscribed to me, then don't forget to smash that like button, as it really helps push our video into the recommended section, which in turn helps the channel grow. Interaction is a big part of what helps us in the YouTube algorithm, and the extra support is very much appreciated. We also have that 500 like goal that we always hit here on the channel. With that said, let's get into the video, and today I'll be showcasing my new 333 or 334 armor regen assault rifle build for PvE. This build is great for all heroic content, and I've also used it in the legendary summit. And this is also a build you can use with the run and gun playstyle or the slower cover based playstyle. With this version of the build, I decided to gain armor regen through skills rather than speccing into armor pieces with armor regen percentages, making the armor regen a lot more effective than if you were to spec into brand set bonuses. You guys love armor regen builds, so the aim of this build was to increase armor regen without over sacrificing damage or armor. We also don't have to over spec into yellow cores either, which is what a lot of players feel they have to do when it comes to using healing skills in order for them to be effective. Today's build is made up of some key components which prevent us from having to do that. This build does consist of 3 to 4 yellow cores, but only one core attribute from our gear pieces is sacrificed for a yellow. All the others come from other places within the build, such as the technician specialization, the memento backpack, and the TDI card pistol. This build also comes with a playstyle I've not seen many others utilize. Now, yellow cores are not the only thing that contribute to our OP armor regen heals. This build will also have up to 90% skill efficiency coming from a couple of places, one of them being the memento backpack, which gives a passive 30% from its long term buff and an extra 10% every time we pick up a trophy. The second place we get skill efficiency from is the artificial hive, which gives us a 50% buff every time you use your healing skill. You also don't have to place the hive down on the ground, as it works while holstered. Now, on top of all the armor regen we get from our skills, we get 3% passive armor regen from the memento backpack, and we gain 30% bonus armor every time we pick up a trophy. So not only do we have OP armor regen, but we also can stack armor and become majorly tanky. Now that we have spoke about all the survivability, let's talk about some damage. When it comes to the damage on this build, at standard you have 50% plus crit chance and 170% critical hit damage. With all buffs active, it has 60% crit chance and 200% critical hit damage, allowing this build to hit for 450k to 500k plus crits to the body. So this build does more than enough damage for heroic content and the legendary summit. Now, I mentioned earlier a playstyle you can use with this build, one I've not actually seen used or showcased, which involves the TDI card. This is a named pistol that comes with a skill tier as a core attribute, which can allow us to have a 4th skill tier on our build. That skill tier only applies when the pistol is in hand. Also, on my TDI card, I have the finisher talent, which when swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy, grants 30% critical hit chance and 30% critical hit damage. So not only will this pistol give us extra damage, but it will strengthen our heals as well because of the extra skill tier. You just have to get into the habit of having your pistol out when using heals, or swap into it to finish off an enemy to gain that extra damage. Synergies within this build don't stop there, because you can also use other weapon talents to make you even more unkillable. For example, the eagle barrel, which gives us 40 to 80% damage resistance after a headshot kill. This makes running and gunning with this build beyond easy. Another great talent to use is preservation. This talent repairs 10% armor after killing an enemy and doubles that to 20% if you kill an enemy with a headshot. This is also a talent that stacks, so the faster you kill, the more armor regen you'll get. And trust me, this combined with 3% armor regen from the memento and all the regen from my healing skills is OP. Another weapon to use with this build if you want even more damage is my favourite exotic AR, the Chameleon. Using this weapon will allow you to spec even more into incoming repairs through mods without sacrificing any damage. A shield can be used with this build, but you will miss out on the artificial high boost, so to make up for that, you'll have to make good use of the TDI card or use incoming repair mods. Now we have spoken a little bit about the build and showcased a little bit of what it's capable of, let's get into a build breakdown. Right guys, starting off with this specialization, and we're using a technician. There are 3 reasons we are using this specialization. One is because we get the extra skill tier. The second reason is we gain access to the artificial hive, which can be very important to this build if you guys want that extra boost of skill efficiency. And finally, we also gain 10% skill healing. Now we have covered the specialization, let's get into the build breakdown. Right guys, starting off with the primary weapon, I am using the eagle barrel for the extra damage resistance. We can gain 40 to 80%. Now this isn't a weapon you have to use. When it comes to the primary weapon, it is preference. I just used it because of the tenacity talent. You can use the chameleon for the extra damage. You can use the FAMAS for the killer talent or preservation. It is totally up to you. But I am using the eagle barrel. We have 10% critical hit damage on the scope. We have 10% weapon handling on the grip, 15% critical hit damage on the muzzle, and the magazine gives us the extra 30 rounds, giving us a magazine capacity of 60. Moving on to our secondary, like I mentioned a second ago, this is a FAMAS with preservation. Killing an enemy repairs 10% armor over 5 seconds. Headshot kills improve the repair by an additional 10%. And the attachments we have in here are 5% crit chance on each scope. And we are using the C79, so we can also have that long distance zoom in. We have the 5% crit chance on the laser pointer, 5% critical hit damage on the flash hider, and then the magazine gives us the extra 20 rounds, minus 10% reload speed. Onto the sidearm, which plays a big role in this build. You don't have to use it as a 3-3-4 build, but it's just nice to have that extra heal if and when you want it. As you can see, we have the TDI card pistol, and it has the 1 skill tier as a core attribute. We also have the finisher talent, which will give us extra damage. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 30% critical hit chance and 30% critical hit damage. The attachments on here, we have 5% crit chance on each scope, we have 5% crit chance on the suppressor, 10% crit chance on the laser pointer, and finally the magazine gives us an extra 11 rounds. And believe it or not guys, this is actually a pistol that packs a punch. Now getting into the gear pieces guys, starting off with our mask, we have the Richard and Kaiser mask giving us 20% incoming repairs, and we have 1 skill tier. It's the only skill tier we have to sacrifice out of our core attributes. We have 12% critical hit damage, 5.5% critical hit chance, and 12% critical hit damage via a mod. Moving on to our chest piece, and it is a Fenris chest piece giving us 10% assault rifle damage, 13.6% weapon damage, 12% critical hit damage, 5.8% critical hit chance, and a mod giving us 12% critical hit damage. When it comes to the talent, we have Obliterate, my favourite talent in the game. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 25 times. Next up we have a holster, is a Seska holster which gives us 10% critical hit chance. This is good for if you're running other ARs, you're going to need the extra crit chance. We have this rolled for 170k armor, 12% critical hit damage and 6% critical hit chance. Onto our knee pads, and we have the Fox pair knee pads, best in slot. We have 170k armor, 8% damage to targets out of cover, that multiplicative damage, and we have 11.4% critical hit damage. The gloves on this build are Grupo Sombra, giving us 15% critical hit damage as this is a crit build, 15% weapon damage, 12% critical hit damage, and 6% critical hit chance. And finally guys, it is the best in slot for any solo build, any hybrid build. We have the Memento backpack, the exotic Memento backpack. This was recently within the season rotation and it was out there for 10 weeks. So how some of you haven't got this backpack yet, I do not know. But I have heard whispers they're going to make it available for people to buy in store. So we have to keep an eye out for that. We have 15% weapon damage, 170k armor, 1 skill tier, and 12% critical hit damage via a mod. We also have the kill confirmed talent. If you guys want to go over that in greater detail, feel free to pause the video. We will gain 30% bonus armor on this build, 10% skill efficiency from the trophies, as well as 15% weapon damage. Moving on to our skills, starting off with the Artificer Hive. These are the base stats guys. All of these get buffed because of the Memento backpack long term buffs, and the same applies to our heals as well. The base healing that you see, I believe, which is at 80k, will be a lot higher once you get that 30% skill efficiency from the Memento backpack. But these are the mods that we have on this hive, and I still don't think they do anything to this hive. I can't find any mods that actually seem to benefit the Artificer Hive. So if you guys know any, let me know in the comment section below, because these don't seem to do anything except for the liquid cooling, which gives you 10% duration, which doesn't even apply to the duration of the buff. It's just the duration of how long the skill's sat there, or you can put it down on the ground for. So we have the 10% duration, we have 9% stim efficiency, which doesn't seem to change any stat there whatsoever, and then we have the 4 extra stim charges, which I don't even think that applies to it. So I have no idea guys, let me know in the comment section below. Moving on to our reinforced chem launcher now. This is what we are using for heals. As you can see, the base healing is around 80k. Again, that does get boosted. As you can see, it's a tier 3, gets boosted to a tier 4 if you have the TDI card out. So these stats will get boosted dramatically again after the Memento backpack and the buff from the Artificer Hive. And that is pretty much it for the build guys. I'm going to leave you a stat sheet. I'm not going to talk through it. I will request that you guys smash that like button. We had that 500 like goal that we do not miss here on the channel. Remember guys, it's free to hit that like button and drop a comment down below, and it really does play a huge role in how well our videos do. So I really appreciate if you do that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Mob Squad.